All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is Sunil Verma. The headlines. India to roll out world's largest vaccination drive on January 16th. 3 crore corona warriors to get the vaccine in the first phase. Brazil seeks 2 million doses of Covishield vaccine from India on priority basis. Private companies in Punjab start buying cotton way above the minimum support price. Indian Railways achieves a train speed of 130 kilometers per hour on Golden Quadrilateral Golden Diagonal route. US tells Pakistan government to punish Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Zaki-ur-Rahman Lakhvi for 26/11 Mumbai attacks. And Australia were 237 for 5 against India in their second innings in the third cricket test at Sydney. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin the bulletin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. The vaccination drive for COVID-19 will kick off on 16th January in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has chaired a high-level meeting to review the status of COVID-19 in the country along with the preparedness for COVID vaccination. The meeting was attended by the Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, the Health Secretary and other senior officials. The Prime Minister took a detailed and comprehensive review of status of COVID management covering various issues. Emergency use authorization or accelerated approval has been granted by the national regulator for 2 vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin, which have established safety and immunogenicity. The Prime Minister was also briefed about the preparedness status of the centre in close collaboration with the state and UT governments for rollout of the vaccine. The vaccination exercise is underpinned by the principles of people's participation, utilizing experience of elections and universal immunization program. The Prime Minister was also apprised about the CoWIN vaccine delivery management system. More than 79 lakh beneficiaries have been already registered on the platform. Our correspondent tells us more about the rollout of the vaccine.
The rollout of the vaccine will provide priority to the healthcare workers and the frontline workers who are estimated to be around 3 crores. They will be followed by those above 50 years of age and the under 50 population groups with comorbidities numbering around 27 crore. The training process of vaccinators and vaccine administrators was also detailed out during the meeting. A total of 2,360 participants were trained during national level training of trainers, which comprised state immunization officers, cold chain officers, IEC officials and development partners. More than 61,000 program managers, 2 lakh vaccinators and 3.7 lakh other vaccination team members have been trained so far as part of trainings at states, districts and block levels. With Anand Kumar, Suparna Saikya, IR News, Delhi.
President Ramnath Kovind has said India has been at the forefront in forging a global response to combat the enormous challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. President Kovind was delivering the valedictory address of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention 2021 yesterday. He said development of 2 Indian COVID vaccines is a major achievement for Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan driven by the spirit of global well-being.
We supplied medicines to nearly 150 countries, making the world look at India as the pharmacy of the world. The recent success of our scientists and technicians in developing 2 COVID vaccines is a matter of achievement for the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which is driven by the spirit of global well-being. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to severe travel disruptions. I appreciate the role played by the Ministry of External Affairs and our missions abroad for reaching out to the diaspora by facilitating their travel in these difficult times.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said India is ready to protect humanity with 2 made-in-India COVID-19 vaccines. The products and solutions made in India will benefit the entire world. He was addressing the 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention through virtual mode yesterday.
आज भारत एक नहीं बल्कि 2 मेड इन इंडिया कोरोना वैक्सीन के साथ मानवता की सुरक्षा के लिए तैयार है। दुनिया की फार्मेसी होने के नाते दुनिया के हर जरूरतमंद तक जरूरी दवाएं पहुंचाने का काम भारत ने पहले भी किया है और आज भी कर रहा है। दुनिया आज सिर्फ भारत की वैक्सीन का इंतजार ही नहीं कर रही, बल्कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम भारत कैसे चलाता है, इस पर भी नजरें हैं।
Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has requested India for 2 million doses of Covishield vaccine produced indigenously by the Serum Institute of India, Pune. Mr. Bolsonaro has written a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to expedite the shipment of Covishield vaccine to Brazil without affecting India's vaccination program. Mr. Bolsonaro's letter, released by his press office, comes amid growing pressure to speed up Brazil's vaccine rollout and end the world's second deadliest coronavirus outbreak. Brazilian National Immunization Program has finalized Covishield and Covaxin for emergency use in the country. Earlier, the federally funded Fiocruz Medical Center had requested emergency use authorization for Covishield vaccine coming from India.
Nasik District and City Municipal Administration is all set for undertaking the corona vaccination in the city. According to AIR correspondent, Chief Advisor to the Chief Minister's Task Force in Nasik, Dr. Deepak Mahiskar has conducted a review meeting in this regard. He suggested that special attention should be paid to foreign passengers and their corona testing should be done expeditiously from time to time. Dr. Mahiskar also asserted that measures should be taken to involve private medical professionals in the vaccination program. He said that a medical history of allergies and immunity should be compiled before benefiting the beneficiaries of the vaccination. He also said that disposal of biomedical waste after vaccination should also be taken up. The cumulative COVID-19 testing in the country has crossed 18 crore mark yesterday. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.41%. During the last 24 hours, more than 9,16,000 samples were tested and more than 19,000 patients have recovered. The Health Ministry said during the last 24 hours, the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1,56,000. The actual caseload currently comprises only 2.15% of the total positive cases.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has stressed the need to maintain complete vigil in view of the new strain of COVID-19. He said the rate of infection has declined significantly, but it is far from over. Therefore, effective system of prevention and treatment should be adopted. Mr. Yogi was reviewing the unlock system at a high-level meeting in Lucknow yesterday. The Chief Minister said that testing has an important role to play in breaking the chain of corona infection. He also emphasized the need of a virology center in the state on the lines of the National Institute of Virology, Pune. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath instructed that in wake of new strain of coronavirus, the people coming to state from countries including UK where new strain has been found be quarantined for a period of minimum 7 days and corona test of these must be conducted. There will be last and final dry run for vaccination in state tomorrow, for which all preparations have been completed. According to Health Department, during the first phase of COVID-19 vaccination, the vaccination work will be done at 3,000 booths of 1,500 vaccination centers in a state, for which 1,300 cold chains have been prepared. Meanwhile, more than 2 crore 51 lakh corona tests have been completed in a state and recovery rate has increased to 96.67%. As of now, more than 5,72,000 corona infected people have got cured and discharged. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, vaccination will be conducted at 300 health facilities, including medical colleges and primary health centers, on January the 16th. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said the number of vaccination centers will be increased as per the requirement. A 5-member committee will oversee the drive at each center. Over 4,62,000 health workers have registered for vaccination. Meanwhile, 2,50,858 patients have so far recovered from the COVID-19 infection in the state. Currently, 4,130 patients are undergoing treatment at various hospitals.
In West Bengal, 787 more people have been tested positive for COVID-19, taking the total number of cases to 5,59,800. Kolkata and North 24 Pargana districts reported the highest number of fresh fatalities at 5 each, whereas Howrah recorded 4 deaths. 978 people have been cured of the disease, taking the recovery rate among the coronavirus patients to 96.79%. The Gujarat government is fully equipped to start anti-COVID-19 vaccination. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and Deputy Chief Minister Nitin Patel reviewed the preparation for vaccination program in a core committee meeting held in Gandhinagar yesterday. Gujarat has a storage capacity of more than 1 crore doses of vaccine. More details from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
There are 27,934 vaccine sites and 2,236 cold chain points have been set up for the vaccine program in the state. 17,128 trained vaccinators will remain on duty along with more than 2 lakh government employees and workers of NGOs. 4,33,000 healthcare workers have been identified for the first phase of vaccination. After that, 3,47,000 frontline workers will get the vaccine on priority basis. 1 crore 6 lakh people with more than 50 years of age and 2,71,000 people below 50 years with comorbidity will also get the vaccine in the first phase. Meanwhile, 675 new cases of COVID-19 have been recorded in Gujarat during the last 24 hours. At present, the state has 8,149 active cases. The recovery rate has reached up to 95.01%. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Karnataka reported 899 new COVID-19 cases during the last 24 hours. On the other hand, 872 people were cured of the disease and discharged from various hospitals. At present, 9,452 COVID patients are undergoing treatment. Among them, 202 are in ICU. 4 COVID patients lost their lives and the total fatalities have increased to 12,138. Those cases with the United Kingdom strain of virus have increased to 11. All arrangements have been made at Kempegowda International Airport to receive the passengers from the United Kingdom. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
Karnataka Health Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar visited the Kempegowda International Airport in Bengaluru yesterday and inspected the arrangements made for screening the passengers arriving from United Kingdom. Speaking to media, the minister said that all UK returnees have to undergo RT-PCR test even though if they have negative report. They will be subject to test at the airport itself and will be sent only after the result is found negative. All those found positive will be kept in institutional quarantine or treated at government hospitals. Meanwhile, the first flight from UK arrived at the airport with 243 passengers at 4 a.m. today. Returnees from other countries will also have to get negative report at least 72 hours before, else they will be subject to test at the airport. R. Murthy, AIR News, Bengaluru.
The Indian Railways has started the new year by achieving a landmark to enhance the maximum speed to 130 kilometers per hour for 1,280 kilometer length out of 1,612 kilometers in Golden Quadrilateral Golden Diagonal route. This covers the entire GQGD route over South Central Railway except Vijayawada, Duvada section where signalling upgradation work is in progress. The Ministry of Railways said that the enhanced speed limits could be achieved due to the systematic and planned strengthening of track and its infrastructure by removing bottlenecks in these sections on a fast pace. This included heavier rails, laying of 260 meters long welded rail panels, improvement of curves and gradients, among others. The New Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series Year Ender 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year and India has seen the fight back against the COVID-19 pandemic under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A report from our correspondent on the initiatives taken by the Indian Railways for providing seamless services to the people.
Indian Railways is called the lifeline of the nation. It not only transports passengers and goods, but also plays an instrumental role in the development of the country. Almost all Indians are directly and indirectly connected to the rail. According to the growing needs of New India, Railways is continuously taking the country forward on the path of growth by providing consistent, efficient, accessible, and world-class services. During the last year, Indian Railways faced unprecedented challenge due to COVID-19 pandemic, but Railways turned this challenge into an opportunity by providing seamless supply of essential goods across the country and moving millions of people back to their homes during the lockdown period.
साथियों, बीते 6 साल में नई रेल लाइन, रेलवे लाइनों के चौड़ीकरण और बिजलीकरण पर जितना निवेश किया गया है, उतना पहले कभी नहीं किया गया। रेल नेटवर्क पर फोकस करने से भारतीय रेल की स्पीड भी बढ़ी है और उसका दायरा भी बढ़ा है। भारत में सेमी हाई स्पीड ट्रेन चल रही है। हाई स्पीड ट्रेन के लिए ट्रैक बिछाने से लेकर बेहतरीन टेक्नोलॉजी तक के लिए भारत में ही काम हो रहा है। भारतीय रेलवे आज मेक इन इंडिया से लेकर बेहतरीन इंजीनियरिंग की भी मिसाल बन रही है। मुझे विश्वास है कि रेलवे की ये गति भारत की प्रगति को नई ऊंचाई देती रहेगी।
Railways gave a new thrust to development through infrastructure development and network expansion in the last 1 year. A national rail plan has been prepared with the objective of developing infrastructure by the year 2030 to meet future requirements of railways. Under this, major focus will be laid on multi-tracking of 14,000 km of route, electrification of the entire rail network, upgrading the speed of trains on important routes, and completion of ports connectivity. Electrification of railways line is being given top priority to transform India into a green nation. 66% of tracks have already been electrified, and Railways aims to complete electrification of its entire broad gauge network by 2023. Railways has achieved a major goal by installing bio-toilets in the coaches. Kisan Rail services have been started across the nation to enable farmers to send their produce in a rapid manner with low cost. Apart from this, Indian Railways is giving priority to the safety of the passengers. There has been a significant reduction in railways accident in the last few years, and no passenger has died in railway accident since April 2019. Apart from this, initiatives like Meri Saheli have also been initiated for the safety of women passengers. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India to roll out world's largest vaccination drive on January the 16th. 3 crore corona warriors to go get the vaccine in the first phase. Brazil seeks 2 million doses of Covishield vaccine from India on priority basis. Private companies in Punjab start buying cotton way above minimum support price. Indian Railways achieves a train speed of 130 kilometers per hour on Golden Quadrilateral Golden Diagonal route. US tells Pakistan government to punish Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi for 26/11 Mumbai attacks. And Australia were 258 for 5 against India in their second innings in third cricket test at Sydney. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
Welcome back to the morning news. Private companies in Punjab have started purchasing cotton way above the minimum support price MSP fixed by the government for this season. While Cotton Corporation of India CCI, the government authorized agency for cotton procurement, is purchasing the produce between 5,665 and 5,725 rupees per quintal, private players have started buying it for 5,900 rupees per quintal. Private players include cotton traders and cotton factories from different parts of Punjab. Cotton farmers of the state are now selling their produce to private companies, relegating the government agency CCI to the background. A CCI Punjab official said private players are buying cotton at a much higher price than MSP due to the increased demand and higher price of cotton in the international market.
The Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying has issued an advisory to the avian influenza affected states to avoid further spread of the disease. So far, the disease has been confirmed from 7 states: Kerala, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh. Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying in a statement said that reports of unusual mortality of birds have been received from the state of Chhattisgarh in poultry and wild birds in Balod district. The state has constituted rapid response teams for emergency situation and also sent the samples to designated laboratory. In Jammu and Kashmir, authorities have asked all allied government departments to stay alert after reported death of birds in various districts of Jammu region. News of death of crows has been received from Jammu, Rajouri and Udhampur districts, following which field staff has been asked to remain vigilant.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on 31st of this month. It will be the 73rd episode of the monthly radio program. People can share their views in the Namo app or MyGov open forum. They can also dial the toll-free number 1-800-11-7800 and record their message for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. People can also give a missed call on 1922 and follow the link received in the SMS to directly give their suggestions to the Prime Minister.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that India is strengthening the entire ecosystem to achieve Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of becoming a $5 trillion economy by 2025 through rapid structural reforms.
Through rapid structural reforms, India is strengthening the entire ecosystem to achieve the Honorable Prime Minister's dream of a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Our holistic approach consists in improving ease of starting a business, ease of doing a business, and ease of growing our businesses.
Addressing the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas conference, he said, simultaneous efforts are being made to bring about a quantum leap in quality, productivity and efficiency so that Indian industry can truly expand our export basket, making it bigger, better and broader. A Chinese soldier was apprehended on the Indian side of the line of actual control south of Pangong Tso Lake in Ladakh during the early hours on Friday. According to defense sources, the PLA soldier had transgressed across the LAC and was taken into custody by Indian troops deployed in this area. Troops from either side are deployed along the LAC since friction erupted last year due to unprecedented mobilization and forward concentration by Chinese troops. The PLA soldier is being dealt with as per laid down procedures, and circumstances under which he had crossed the LAC are being investigated.
The United States remained unconvinced over Pakistan's efforts to convict Lashkar-e-Taiba LET terrorist Zayke-ur-Rahman Lakhvi and asked the Imran Khan regime to further hold him accountable for his crimes. The US reaction on Lakhvi has come a day after India termed Pakistan's action against the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack mastermind as farce and an attempt to mislead the Financial Action Task Force FATF ahead of its plenary. In a tweet, US State Department said Lakhvi's crimes go far beyond financing terrorism and Pakistan must further hold him accountable for his involvement in terrorist attacks, including Mumbai attacks. On Friday, an anti-terrorism court in Lahore sentenced Lakhvi to 15 years in prison in a terror funding case. Reacting to the development, India had pointed out that the timing of these actions clearly suggests the intention of conveying the sense of compliance ahead of the next FATF plenary meeting in February 2021. New Delhi said it has become routine for Pakistan to come up with such farcical actions prior to important meetings. India also said UN-prescribed entities and designated terrorists act as proxies of Pakistani establishment to fulfill its anti-India agenda. New Delhi urged the international community to hold Pakistan to account and ensure it takes credible actions against terror groups, terror infrastructure and individual terrorists.
Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has said that a 6-member committee led by Health Director Dr. Sadhna Tayade has been established to probe the deaths of the infants in Bhandara District General Hospital fire. He said that the committee will submit its report within 3 days and strict action will be taken against those found responsible for this accident. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has ordered fire audit of all the government hospitals in the state and to check the status of the earlier audit reports. He discussed the Bhandara fire incidents issue with Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, Health Minister Rajesh Tope and District Collector.
In cricket, Australia were 265 for 5 against India in their second innings in the third test at Sydney a short while ago. Australia has resumed play on day 4 from their overnight score of 103 for 2. Earlier yesterday, the hosts bowled out India for 244, taking a first innings lead of 94 runs. Patrick Cummins took 4 wickets and Jayesh Hazlewood scalped 2 and Cheteshwar Pujara scored one of the slowest half-centuries for India. The hosts were all out for 338 in their first innings. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital is experiencing shallow fog. The city observed a minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 18 degrees. Mumbai will experience generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperatures will hover between 23 and 31 degrees Celsius. Chennai may witness generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperatures will vary between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, fog or mist prevailed during early morning and partly cloudy skies expected during the day. The city observed a minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 30 degrees. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky. The temperatures will hover between -4 degrees Celsius and 9 degrees. In Jammu, there will be mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards the evening. The minimum temperature was 7 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 18 degrees. Leh will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was -12 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around -2 degrees. Gilgit is to experience generally cloudy sky. The temperatures will hover between -3 degrees and 9 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. The temperatures will move between 2 and 16 degrees Celsius. Dehradun observed a minimum temperature of 7 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Almost all newspapers today lead with the details of the upcoming mega immunization exercise against the coronavirus disease. Hindustan Times headline reads, India's vaccine drive to kick off on January 16, while the Indian Express states 3 crore health staff are first in line. The other story that hogs the limelight today is the bird flu scare. Delhi bans import of live birds, poultry market shut, writes the Pioneer. With 6 feet of snow and -10 degrees Celsius, white winter raises hope for J&K tourism. Kashmir witnesses rise in tourist footfall, writes the Hindu. The Financial Express on its front page takes note of concern over WhatsApp's new policy. Government may redraft social media guidelines. And finally, the Hindu in its business line takes note of launch of Air India's Bengaluru-San Francisco non-stop service under the caption, Air India connects IT hubs.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India to roll out world's largest vaccination drive on January the 16th. 3 crore corona warriors to get the vaccine in the first phase. Brazil seeks 2 million doses of Covishield vaccine from India on priority basis. Private companies in Punjab start buying cotton way above the minimum support price. Indian Railways achieves a train speed of 130 km per hour on Golden Quadrilateral, Golden Diagonal route. US tells Pakistan government to punish Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi for 26/11 Mumbai attacks. And Australia were 265 for 5 against India in their second innings in third cricket test at Sydney. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.